Hello my friends, and welcome to Letters from Paradise, episode number 47, which I've called Flow. It's part of the affection set. When St. Paul exhorts the church to be affectionate, the Greek word used is philostorgos. The word specifically refers to the tenderness and expressed love within a family, especially between parents and children. It shows that the family is the nursery where our human affection is awakened and healthily grows, as well as given safe boundaries. This includes our ability to experience intimacy with another, which is also formed through the development of affection in our lives. And so those who have the task of nurture, usually mum and dad, have the wonderful privilege of calling forth that life so the person becomes beautifully prepared to give and receive affection, a key attribute to being fully human as our Creator intended. So what Paul writes to the Romans and to other churches to whom he is an apostle, a father, what he writes represents an expansion of something intrinsic to the family unit. Paul is putting family affection, philostorgos, into the communities of believers. There's a pattern here. The affection that is the defining flow between Father, Son and Holy Spirit is poured into the creation. Affection is then the defining flow within human families. Now the great apostle is placing it as a defining flow in the churches. But we know that the love that's the very essence of the Trinity has been poured into the whole creation, including every man, woman, boy and girl. The flow was never designed to stop at the family or the church. It is to flow to the very extremities of God's creation, everyone and everything. I think that's why Paul Young's book, The Shack, resonates with so many people. We come away knowing that Papa is tender and warm. He touches and embraces. He both weeps and rejoices in shared feeling with others. He is a God of nearness and intimacy. It was reading The Shack that set me off on this most thrilling of all journeys, and centermost to every day of it has been the experience of affectionate love. Unfortunately, sometimes tragically, a true and full experience of tender affection is not found in families. In extreme cases, some families became places where children only knew abuse. For others, their families were so regimented by rules, administered by aloof fathers, that natural affection was never felt. St. Paul also uses the word astorgos, the negative of philostorgos. Astorgos is defined and translated unloving, unsociable, without natural affection, inhuman and hard-hearted. What the Bible is showing us is that a loving affection between people everywhere is God's great desire for mankind. And Paul is writing to ensure it will not be found wanting in the church. Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love. The church at least was to be a place where true tender affection would be restored to misshapen souls. Perhaps Paul knew that some churches would become places of control, abuse, rules and self-important leaders. No wonder fear-based dogmas against people of other religions and differing gender identity sometimes thrive in these places. Even people with political differences can feel marginalised, and racial and cultural partiality is only thinly veiled. This is not the church Jesus Christ ever wanted. No. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, John, the beloved disciple, was to write. If anything, Jesus, Paul and John saw a people through whom kindness and affection would flow to all the earth, reminding the spirit and soul of every person that they are a child of the divine, that love is their home. In the context of the family, I have learned that the greatest gift I can give my children, their spouses, and my grandchildren is to show them tender affection. It's something that money can't buy and will set them up for success in life, especially relational success. And then not letting the flow stop there, but to warmly embrace and speak tenderly to men and women, no matter how other they are to me. Oh, there are countless stories where affection has broken down barriers, started warring factions talking again to each other, healed historical scars, and released forgiveness and reconciliation. We can do this. Shalom.